Hey, what's going on, everyone? James Nanovas here, and welcome back to another YouTube video. And today we're going to be going over episode 4 of Big Brother Reindeer Games. So, where we last left off, Danielle got eliminated, and the episode begins with Frankie telling us that he wants to continue with Brittany and Nicole. Obviously, everyone does the celebration of being grateful that they're still being here and all, but yeah, we might as well get started on the get go. So yeah, Frankie acknowledges that he still wants to work with Brittany and Nicole, and he also acknowledges that he is going to have to keep on winning challenges in order to make it to the end because this is a competition-based game, and he needs to win competitions in order to stay alive. Meanwhile, Josh does explain that he, Taylor, and Xavier are working together to from the alliance that they had with Danielle, and with Danielle gone, Josh, Taylor, and Xavier are more dedicated to each other than before. Xavier is obviously hoping that he does not go back to Santa's Showdown, as he is, I guess you could say, an underdog in my eyes. He's been on the block on Santa's Showdown 3 times, and he does not want to make it number 4. And then later on, Nicole, Brittany, and Taylor plot to get all the remaining girls to get to the end. And Nicole says she's willing to do what it takes to get to the end. She is aligned with Frankie, but she says she's willing to do what it takes to get to the end because there's not that many people left in the game. So yeah, at the Naughty and Nice challenge, Derek X does end up returning for this episode, and the Naughty and Nice challenge is to search around the house for clues in order to figure out who took Jill Frost, who is a pop singer from the North Pole. There are multiple clues that are scattered around the house, and the clues that are there were like some clues that helped. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm first struggling. So there's basically like multiple clues spread around the house, and they're trying to like solve who kidnapped Jill Frost, and some of the clues are really weird. The clues are that there was like gray hair in the sink. There were mugshots of reindeer criminal at Santa's office, and keep in mind and keep in mind sorry, keep in mind that at Santa's office there's like 8 total mugshots to symbolize the 8 potential culprits who could have done it. They all had like different features, different colored fur, and they each had their own ID number and each had a specific hoof print and their own specific color as well. There were reindeer's colors at the fireplace, and there were supposed to be like 8 at the fireplace, but there's only like 7. And the hint was that there was supposed to, for this fireplace was that there were supposed to be 3 blue collars that were in place for the 3 reindeer who were wearing blue collars, but there were only 2, giving hint that the culprit was wearing a blue collar. And there were also hoof prints at the front door. Now there was like a specific hoof print that they needed to like match up to specific reindeers so that they can figure out who stole Gil Frost. And after Brittany, Nicole, and Frankie find out that the culprit wears a blue collar, they each decide to just pick one of the 3 reindeer with the blue collar just to ensure that one of them wins the challenge. It's actually pretty smart. And Josh believes that he figured out so fast, but he actually ends up being like the last person to actually reading the answer. Though Frankie and Josh were the only people to get this right, get the culprit right, which was Slasher. And Frankie ends up winning the challenge. Keep in mind, Frankie was like the 5th person to ring in, so yeah, essentially Josh was so close to winning the challenge, but yeah, just not quite. But yeah, after Frankie wins the challenge, the house gets a concert from Jill Frost, who, by the way, is very hot. Some of the Josh mentioned it. Josh mentions how hot she is, and she even gives a blow. She even blows a kiss to Derek, who ends up passing out for a bit because, goddamn, apparently Jill Frost is like very popular in the North Pole. So in the next Jingle Bell Brawl, it's going to actually require duos, and Frankie's advantage from winning the Naughty and Nice challenge is that he gets to choose his partner, and the duo that wins the Jingle Bell Brawl will be safe. So Frankie knows that he has to think about it very carefully because when Cody chose him for a competition, referencing to the competition where Cody got the Jingle Bell Brawl, where with Xavier, Nicole, and Frankie and Cody lost to the underdog team, Cody did end up getting eliminated. So Frankie realizes that he's going to have to think this through very carefully. Frankie decides not to have Brittany or Nicole onto his team, knowing that the losing pair would have to like face each other. So yeah, that's really smart. Frankie is like basically learning from like his mistakes. And oh yeah, let me scroll down a bit since all right. Oh, sorry. I think I accidentally have some tabs pulled up. All right. This. I am so sorry about this, guys. Um, I'm struggling to X out some of my tabs. Oh god, that is so embarrassing. So yeah, Taylor does not want to partner with Frankie as he is her number one target, but she gets chosen by Frankie. So everyone else must decide amongst themselves on who they want to be paired up with. And Xavier and Josh want to do a guy girl duo in order guy girl duos in order to protect each other. But Nicole and Brittany would rather partner with each other because they want Josh and Xavier gone. And Brittany and Nicole do end up becoming sus of Josh and Xavier because they were pushing it so hard. Brittany doesn't really mind working with Josh that much, but Nicole really does not want to work with Xavier. But the pairs do end up being Nicole and Xavier and Josh and Brittany, and Nicole is obviously like not happy with it, but she still wants to win though. Of course she does. Who? It's we're near the end game. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a bit, but it should be fine. Bell Brawl challenges to assemble gift pieces and arrange them on a sleigh. So basically, it is a puzzle. Frankie's Frankie has the power to give a disadvantage to a team. Frankie's disadvantage power is that he's able to freeze one of the other teams at any point in the challenge, and that team will be frozen for 45 seconds. Yeah, 45 seconds is a very, very long time. Taylor and Frankie's strategy is for Taylor to hand out the pieces and offer help when needed, and Frankie to assemble the pieces as he is good at these types of challenges. Nicole and Xavier's strategy is for X to solve the puzzle and for Nicole to gather the pieces. Xavier would tell Nicole what pieces he needs and she would go get them for him. So yeah. Oh yeah, and Frankie mentioned how heavy the pieces are because the pieces are like very big and it requires a good amount of strength. So yeah. Taylor tells Frankie to freeze Xavier and Nicole as because they were like catching up, they were starting to gain momentum and Frankie follows through. So and Xavier becomes really devastated as Nicole and Xavier had a lot of momentum and they had just lost it. Brittany and Josh do end up struggling with the competition for a bit, but they do eventually like catch up, and the competition ends up being close teams, but with Brittany and Josh being slightly behind both of them, both of the other teams. And Frankie and Taylor do end up winning the challenge, making it the first time that the winner of the Jingle Bell Brawl, the winner of the Naughty and Nice Challenge, also won the Jingle Bell Brawl. So, yeah, congratulations to Frankie on that. They they have to choose, and for choosing the nominees, both they would have to choose one person from each of the losing pairs to be on Santa's Showdown, and each and Taylor and Frankie separately have randomly picked an ornament to represent a losing team's color, and that color is the team that the person needs to pick from. So basically, what I'm trying. Hold on, let me scroll down a bit again. So basically, Frankie and Taylor each would have to pick one person from each of the losing teams, and they would determine their fates. So like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and explain. Frankie needs to choose like one person from the red team, Josh and Brittany, because he chose the red ornament, and Taylor must choose one person from the green team because she chose the green ornament. The green team being Xavier and Nicole for Santa's Showdown. So essentially, they're determining the losing team's fate. And Taylor realizes that she has to make a tough decision as she is aligned with both of them, with both Xavier and Nicole. So, sorry, Taylor, this is going to be tough. Frankie and Taylor do end up strategizing with each other, and Frankie has told Taylor that we should just go for Xavier and Josh and put them on Santa Showdown because they're both beasts, they're both threats. Now, Taylor doesn't explicitly agree, but Taylor just somewhat goes along with it for now. Nicole pitches to Taylor on why she should not be on Santa's Showdown, and her pitch is mainly about how hard it is to be a woman and basically about being a mom. That's kind of essentially her pitch. However, Taylor does not want to send Xavier from the block because she needs him in order to beat Frankie. That's basically it. Xavier realizes that this is the second time that Taylor has to pick between Nicole and him, and last time that happened, and in reference to like the same competition where the same episode where Cody got eliminated, Taylor and her team chose to keep Nicole over Xavier. So obviously Xavier is like pitching for Taylor not to send them in, and Taylor does admit that she wants to target Frankie. At right when Frankie and Taylor were choosing the nominees, Taylor ends up choosing first. She basically goes into tears, and well, Taylor does end up choosing Nicole because she needs Xavier to take out Frankie. That was kind of her strategy at that point. And Frankie, no surprise, chooses Josh for Sansa Showdown. And Josh respects Frankie for the decision, but he's willing to fight to stay for another day. And Taylor does end up like talking to Nicole and saying that Nicole can beat Josh in a separate conversation, of course. But Nicole does get so upset because she doesn't understand why Taylor wants to take Xavier to the end because he is a strong player who could beat her. Nicole was feeling very doomed against Josh because Josh is like a really good competitor. So at Santa Showdown, there's this candy cane rodeo, which is to hang on to their giant candy cane for as long as possible. Basically, this was an endurance challenge. They would have to like hang on to each other, no, not to each other, but hang on to the candy cane for like as long as possible. And as time goes on, the candy cane would rock on more violently over time. So basically, it's basically think about it as like riding a bull on a rodeo, and your goal is to like not get off for as long not to stay on for as long as possible. Now, Nicole's strategy is to move along with the candy cane instead of hanging on so that she doesn't have to wear down her arms. And Josh's strategy is to like basically lock his arms around the candy cane in order to hang tight because his arms are so big. And we learn from the other players what they want to happen. Brittany wants Nicole to win, and we also learn that Brittany does not really. Brittany starts to trust Taylor less for sending in Nicole instead of Xavier. Obviously, that's understandable. Xavier wants Josh to win as he believes everyone else will end up targeting him. So basically, Xavier might be more loyal to Josh than to Taylor. Maybe. That's what it's starting to sound like. And during the competition, Nicole keeps bumping her head on the candy canes, so she starts getting more of a headache. Candy canes do eventually start speeding up, and it becomes much more difficult to hang on. And right when they were about to go to commercial break, both Josh and Nicole ended up falling off at around the same time. Not the exact same time, but around the same time, putting putting him on a cliffhanger until after commercial break. And when we look at the replay, when the replay shows that Josh ended up falling first, making Nicole the winner of Santa's Showdown. And Josh's elimination prize is an ugly Christmas sweater. And at the end of the episode, we figure out that Frankie is targeting Xavier and Taylor, knowing full well that they're working together, and Nicole still feels betrayed by Taylor for what she did. And Taylor is just hoping that this move does not backfire at all. So basically, yeah, this is what happens. Here are the stats right now, and what I'm gonna get out my thoughts on this. Taylor put up a really move that backfired. Taylor is definitely going to be a target from here on out, unfortunately. And yeah, Frankie, I would say Frankie is dominating this game right now. I like to say it. Frankie's doing like the overdog. Is putting up a really good fight. I think Nicole's going to make it to the end. I think Frankie's going to make it to the end. The other three, though, um, hmm, I think Frankie and Nicole will make it to the end. The other three, I think we're gonna have to wait and see. There's gonna be a new episode tonight, so I'm looking forward to watching it. And who do I think is gonna go home next? I honestly don't know. All I know is Taylor and Xavier are in trouble. There's only like one more episode before like the final Santa showdown. So really, whoever gets eliminated next is going to determine who's going to be competing on finale night. So, damn. My thoughts on this is like, yeah, I knew like Josh wasn't gonna thought that Josh was gonna be eliminated, but then last episode I was feeling like so hopeful for Josh, but I guess I just had my hopes up way too much, and yeah, Josh got eliminated. I still can't believe it, but glad there's I, f- I the alliances ended up being unintentionally about race. The alliances are starting to the gender alliances are starting to like go away at this point because of the distrust between Taylor and Brittany and Nicole. What are my thoughts on this? There's really not much else for me to like say. I mean, there's not that many people left, except I think Frankie's gonna win this. Now I think Frankie is definitely going to win this because Frankie has played such great physical, social. He's played such a. Oh god, dang it! Oh, it's just a spam number. Anyways, yeah, I think Frankie is going to win this competition because he's played such a well-rounded game. And but if Frankie somehow goes, I think Cole or Xavier are going to win this one. I'm so really, it's really between Frankie, Nicole, and Xavier right now. I don't see Brittany or Taylor winning it. Just based on what the show is showing us, I just don't think it's there. So, anyways, guys, that's all I have to say for now. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.